Good afternoon. How's everyone doing on this glorious sunny afternoon? Welcome to my channel, guys, Motocross Mania TV. This is my second upload of today, so I'm not too sure if my first one's gone through yet or been checked yet by YouTube partners. But yeah, this is my second upload today, and it brings me on to something which a video which I wanted to do. Let's put it that way. I'm getting lost for words. Yeah. Basically, a few weeks ago, I was at a market over in Lancing, which is in, I'm not too sure if it's West Sussex or East Sussex, but yeah, it was a really, the last bank holiday, I was over there in the market, walking through the market with a few of my family members, you know, having a little browse about, buying a few bits and pieces off the stalls like you do, and enjoying, because it was a nice bank holiday, so I was enjoying the weather too. And I was with my sister Angela and her partner Ian, and yeah, my missus, and walking about through the market, as I said, having a browse, and someone patted me on the shoulder. And you know when someone pats you on the shoulder and you ain't familiar of them, or you've never seen them before, you know, it makes you a little bit wary, doesn't it? Not that I should be wary nowadays with any pats on the shoulder, because I'm a reformed person. I've changed my life, and I've put my old lifestyle behind me. But yeah, that little twitch will never go when you get a pat on the shoulder and you quickly turn around. But it was a lovely pat on the shoulder, and a guy said to me, "Are you Joey Barnett?" And I said, "Yes." I said, "Who's asking?" And he said, "My name's Scott. They call me Monkey Man. That's his nickname." And he said he's been following my channel, been following me for a few years, and he's so grateful and happy to see me. And I meted him and greeted him, and we had a good old chat about the good old days. And we was talking about, you know, the youngsters of today thinking that going to prison, committing crimes is glamorous. And he just couldn't thank me enough for putting content out there, which I do put out there, about to deter people, or deter, I can't even say the word again because I'm an old cockney. But yeah, to stop people from thinking, look, committing crimes and taking drugs is glamorous. He couldn't thank me enough for it. And I want to give you a big shout out to Scott and his missus. Thank you so much for patting me on the shoulder and giving me some great feedback, because it's feedback like this which makes me upload more content. And that's not only been the first time I've been patted on the shoulder. I was in a petrol garage a few months ago with my bike, one of my pals, paying at the jump like you do, and someone patted me on the shoulder again, and he said, "I hope you don't mind me asking you, but is your name Joey Barnett?" And I said yes to him, and he said that, you know, yet again, he was one of my followers, and you know, he said I'm very inspiring. I'm a breath of fresh air, and he was really happy to meet me. So yeah, it's great to know that my channel's out there, you know, and what I stand for is out there, which is spreading awareness, stopping people from committing crime, taking drugs, thinking it's glamorous, because it isn't. It all leads to a few things, but them few things, what it leads to is hell. Let me just tell you that. You know, I've spent many years beyond the door. At one stage, going through life, doing 12 years, thinking, you know, I'd never ever see the light at the end of that tunnel. I wouldn't make it out of there, because I was a live wire in there, and I was a nightmare in there. So yeah, that's how I got through my bird, by getting up to naughty stuff during the daytime as much as I possibly could, you know, for a bit of excitement. And that's how I got through my bird, like that. So I was shipped to every single jail up and down the country, from Isle of Wight right the way up to North, them jails up in North, Hull, Yorkshire, up them ways too. Went through strange ways. Yeah, Durham, done all them jails, most of them jails up north, and on the way back down too. And that's because, you know, I was a problem to the system. You know, they didn't want people like me in their prisons, the governors, because where I was doing such a long time, they knew that at the beginning of all long-term sentences, we get up to all sorts of things, and then, you know, create havoc as much as we possibly can to get through our bird. Coming towards the end of it is when we settle down, slow down, and want to get out. But at the start of our sentences, you know, people like me was a nightmare, and that's why prisoners didn't want people like me in them, because I was a liability. You know, I'm not going to start to tell you what I used to get up to in there, but what I can say, it was very, very violent. And I didn't like using my hands too much. So yeah, you know, the old prison toothbrush and 2 big razors melted into the end of it was my choice of weapon. And another choice of weapon, which was a good weapon in there, was a bog brush. Now, the reason why I say a bog brush is because when you go through different places in prison, you get wanted by metal detectors, and obviously it's plastic, so it wasn't showing up, it wasn't buzzing up, wasn't showing up on the detectors. And what I'd done is I snapped the end off and I sharpened it, you know, on a brick wall down to a point. I mean, like a dart, but you know, you're talking this phone ain't long enough. You know how long a bog brush is. All I've done was snap the end off, and I used to carry that. And what else we used to do in there, when we used to go out on exercise yards, yeah, around the exercise yards, because a lot of these long-termers jails like Whitemoor, Full, Sutton, Franklin, Long Larton, especially the Cat A jails, what I've done, yeah, they had fields, and in the mornings or some afternoons during the weekends, we could walk around the field for an hour. And what I used to do, and a lot of other inmates used to do from my old walk of life, was get a load of hardback books and wear them as a vest going round us, because we just didn't know who was going to come from behind. You know, where we got up to so much naughty stuff in there, we didn't, you know, it come back sometimes. So we had to be fully prepared. And yeah, guys, anyway, I don't want to ramble on too much, because as I said, I've got so much content to bring you, and I will be bringing it over the next few days. But a big shout out to all my subscribers. Big shout out to you, Scott, your missus, and your family, mate. Have a great day. See you soon. Peace.